Hello everyone, this is Ashley from Ashley's Creations, and back in April I had posted some stationery sets that I had made for an upcoming craft show, and I had a lot of people question me on how I made it, and I actually made a couple more for some craft shows that I had over the holiday season, so I thought I'd go ahead and make one on camera for you guys. It is a Paper Tray Ink template. It's called From the Desk Of. So if you go to the Paper Tray Ink website and you search From the Desk Of, it's one of their timeless templates. It'll come up. I think it was $5 to purchase, but you get all the pieces that you need to make it. Inside of the stationery set, I put in 5 matching note cards, a little notepad, 2 pencils, 2 pens that are wrapped in the same paper, and then just 2 little post-it notes. And I put a little box down there to hold the post-it notes up. So I'm going to go ahead and make it with you. I'm using this foil paper. It was a Christmas pack that I had got at Michael's, I think, this year. No, it was Joann, probably. I got it at one of the 2 stores, and I really liked it. I thought it was really pretty and elegant. So these are the different templates that you need to make the stationery set. So what I did is I printed them out on cardstock with my printer, and then I cut them out to be the correct measurements or pieces that you needed them to be. And all I'm going to do here is just go ahead and trace around them on my cardstock using my pencil. So I'm using the True Black cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and I'm just going around tracing all the pieces. That one is cut in half, so I just lifted that up and traced next to it, going around it. I really like this template. Actually, I got a lot of compliments on it at my craft shows. I actually ended up selling, I think, 5 of them in the last couple weeks, so made some good money off of them, I think. Okay, moving on to the next piece. This is actually the back part of it. So all you really need to do is trace those top corners, and then I cut up that score line there, and I'm tracing along the bottom there. I didn't bother to trace that bottom line because I just knew that I was going to score there anyway, where the top of the pencil marks were. At this point I realized I needed more black cardstock, so I had to find some more real quick. Now this part is the front part, so I'm just going to trace around it, and that's going to go in the front of your stationery set. Alright, so now that I've traced the pieces that I need, I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. And you should cut like just inside the lines, I feel like, in order to make it fit perfectly. Plus that way you don't have the pencil lines either, and you don't have to go back and erase it, you know? So, yeah. So I'm just cutting those out. That's going to take me a couple minutes here. Now, Paper Tray Ink actually has, I think, about 20 different templates on their website, but I had seen this one on Pinterest, and I thought it was really sweet. I thought it would make a really nice stationery set for teachers or something like that, because when I made this, it was back in April, and I was thinking end of the year teacher gifts for our craft show that had been coming up. So that's why I decided to make this, because I thought teachers would really like these. Now, the funny thing is that I didn't actually sell any of these during my April show or any of my summertime shows or any other shows that we did, earlier in the year. But I did sell 5 of them this season for Christmas, so people bought them for their teachers. I had a couple younger girls came and bought them for their teachers. I had another lady who bought it for, I think her niece is a teacher. But yeah, people really liked these, so I thought it was really cute when I saw it on Pinterest, and so I wanted to make it, and so I did. And I've looked through their other templates, and some of them are cute too, and I might go and buy some more of them. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just cutting the corners off of this one piece right here. And then I'm going to cut up those side marks right there. That's going to be the part that separates the front from the back. Now the next step is to trace the little decorative mats. Those are the pieces that are going to go on the outside. That one goes in the front of the box, and the other 2 are going to go on the sides of the box. So I'm just using this gold foil paper that I got from, like I said, I think it was, honestly, I can't remember if it was Michael's or Joann's, but it's a really pretty foil Christmas stack. And I picked out a paper that was not Christmas because I wanted it to be more of an everyday kind of stationery set. So I'm just tracing around these pieces on the designer paper. I'm lining them up so I can use the least amount of paper possible, because I'm going to use the paper again for my notepad and for my cards that are going to go in there too. And they're note card size. They are not full card size, although I'm sure you could probably fit full size cards in there as well. Okay, so the next step is to cut those out, obviously. So here I am cutting those parts out. So like I said, those two pieces up top will go on the sides of your stationery set. And the bottom one with the little hole is what's going to go on the front of your set. And you do get all of these pieces that I'm tracing in your timeless template download from Papertrey Inc. Again, I think it's $5, maybe it's $5.99 or something like that. And you get an email with the download, and you just go ahead and download that and print it out. It's really simple. It's actually not that hard of a template to create. The more time-consuming part is making the stuff that you want to put inside, like the note cards and stuff. But making the actual template itself isn't that bad. So now that we've cut the pieces out, we have to go ahead and score it. I think that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and score it. So I just put the template back on top so that I knew where the score line was. And I'm lining the score line up in my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And I'm just going to go ahead and score it. It's also where that pencil mark is. That's where the score is. I'm going to move my cutting blade out of the way there. So I'm using my scoring blade. You could use your scoring tool. I just like my trimmer because it's a cutter and a scorer all at once. So I just use that. I do have a Martha Stewart scoreboard, but I don't ever use it. I always use this. And now I'm just lining it up at the top of where I made those pencil marks. So that's going to be the flat for the bottom of the template. So I'm just lining that up, taking it out, closing my closing the trimmer and scoring it. Now this part's easy. I'm just lining up the edges with the score. It's just where I cut it. So you see me showing you where the lines are. And then I'm just going to do that bottom one as well. Okay, again, this piece right here that I'm about to score is the middle piece, and it's 1¼ inches all the way around. So I'm not even going to bother to use my template. I'm just going to go ahead and measure 1¼ inches all the way around. Basically, it will line up with where the edges of the corners are. And I'm sorry that I've been MIA for a little bit, you guys. I actually have a couple haul videos to share with you. I got the Hero Arts first monthly My Hero kit, and I got Papertrey Ink in October and in November. And here I am. I'm scoring it in the middle. I don't remember what it said on the screen. I think it was like 4 5/8 or something like that. And that'll just fold it right in half. But so I got a couple hauls, and then I'm just folding this on the score lines here. I got a couple hauls and I filmed them. I just haven't had time to upload them because I had about 6 craft shows, I want to say, this season. And then I had to make my 150 card sets, or 150 cards for my card set. So I make 15 different card designs, 10 of each, and I do 5 different card sets for my friends and family. And so for the last like 3 months, I've been working on those things, and I have been crafting literally every day for the last like 3 months, but I have not had time to film anything. So I'm just putting score tape. I folded that in half, and then I'm putting score tape on the outsides here. Those will be the sides, and that flap on my right side will be the bottom that will go into the bottom of the box. But yeah, so I've been crafting non-stop every day almost for maybe it's only been about 2 months. It's probably like all of November and all of December I've been crafting. So here's the front part. Now that part's going to go inside the front of that, so I'll fold that and I'll show you how that goes in a minute. But I am on Christmas break, so I do have 2 weeks off now. It is December 20th, so it's 5 days until Christmas. So I do have 2 weeks off now so that I have time to film some videos for you guys. So that's going to just slide right in the box there. And that'll be the front and the sides. And I actually decided that I wanted to do that part on the outside so that way the seam would be in the back. I thought that looked nicer in the front like that. So I'm just going to use my score tape. You guys can use liquid glue, but score tape is my adhesive of choice for boxes. I just absolutely love it. I got a good deal on Blitsy. I got like 5 or 6 rolls for like $2.50 each or something like that. An awesome deal. So I'm just folding that onto the bottom there. Trying to line up the edges as best I can. There's the other side. I'm just using my, that's actually my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board bone folder because it was handy on my desk, but I'm using it to burnish and make sure that the bottom is down well. My bone folder is somewhere at my desk somewhere. I don't know. It's white. My desk is white. It gets lost a lot. More score tape, and then the score tape's going to go on the back of that because, like I said, I want to put that part underneath so that the seam is in the back of my stationery set. Now, before I put that on, I decided I wanted to put the front matting on because I thought it would be easier to put on while it was flat on my desk as opposed to in the box. And of course, I would run out of adhesive while filming, so right now I'm looking for another one. Because I've used so much adhesive in the past few weeks. I use, I think, I don't want to say probably like over 20 rolls of adhesive. I don't know, some crazy amount. Because if you're taking the sides off, I'm going to put the sides on first, I think is what I do, and then put the bottom on. Yeah. So I'm just going to try and get that in there as straight as possible. Get the corners lined up. Smush it down into the bottom. I'm going to use that bone folder again just to burnish it, make sure it's in there nice and tight. And I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom papers off and attach that to the bottom. I had a little bit of overhang. A lot of times when you make boxes, you're supposed to kind of, what's that called, where you kind of cut in a little bit. I don't know. I do it a lot, but I forgot to do it when I did that, so that's why I had a little bit of overhang there. So now I'm just putting the mats on the side. Again, that it was easier to put the matting on the front when it was flat, as opposed to now that it's a 3D object. I just really like that gold foil paper. I think it's really sharp. I made a lot of things with that foil paper. I made a couple purses. And then I bought a silver foil one, silver and white foil one too. I made a lot of things using that as well. Okay, so here's the inside piece. I took off the bottom backing and I'm going to go ahead and slide that down into my box. And I'm going to use my bone folder again to burnish it and make sure that it's stuck down nice and snug at the bottom. Now this is the hard part, trying to get the little papers off the inside flaps here. But I didn't want to remove it before I put it down because I didn't want to get it accidentally stuck in there. I'm holding that other piece up so I can get the tape on the other side because I don't want to put one down before the other because I want to make sure I have them even. So now they're nice and even in there. If I put one down, I don't think it would have been in the right spot. And I would have had to rip it up and it would have looked bad. So just being careful when you glue that down. And I did have a little bit of a corner piece there. So I'm cutting that off. I'm not sure why I had that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side where I take the papers off. My 3 cats are hanging out down here with me. They're all lazing around. Okay, taking the papers off of that one, having a little trouble with the one on the inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick those down at the same time to make sure they're even. Looks good. Again, have that little corner there. Don't know why. I don't know if I didn't cut it right or something. But it's an easy fix. You just snip it off. Goodbye. Okay, so there is the box completed as you get it from Paper Tray Ink. Now I went a little bit further and I wanted my note cards to be separate from my pencils and pens. So I made an extra little piece that goes on the inside. Those are the measurements there. You need 2 pieces of paper, one that's just covered up 3 1/4 by 9 1/4, and then 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. And then I'm gonna score it at 5 and I don't know what I'm doing. Scored at 5 1/8. Okay, right, so right now I'm cutting the 5 1/4 by 9 1/4. Oh, you scored at 5/8. I'm sorry. So you're gonna score it at 5/8 all around. I couldn't read my own writing there for a minute, you guys. Sorry. So I'm scoring it at 5/8 all the way around, and that's gonna be. So I'm basically making that inside piece again, but on a smaller scale, because I want to be able to separate it. And then you're gonna score it at 4 5/8. That's right in the middle. Okay, and that's the 3 1/4, I think it was, by 9 1/4, and I'm scoring it at 5/8 all around. And then again at 4 5/8. Sorry, I'm a little bit off camera up top there. I'm just folding on all those score lines there. Now this part was an extra part. It's not included in your template. But like I said, I wanted to separate my note cards from my pens and pencils. So I made an extra little holding cell kind of thing. So I'm now making it just like that middle piece that we had before. I'm cutting the corners off. So all 4 corners are going to come off. And I'm cutting up the middle score line until I get to the other score line there. Again, cutting up to that score line. I'm going to cut the corners off of this one as well. Now you guys don't have to do this step, but I really didn't like how there was just so much open space. I felt like this separated it a little bit better, and it worked a lot better for me than what the original design was. So you can see how that looks just like the inside piece, but what I'm doing is I made 2 of them. So the one side will hold the note cards and the other side will hold the pens and pencils. So again, just putting score tape on it, folding it back on itself. I'm going to do that on both of them first, I guess. because now we have to put score tape on the outside flaps. So yeah, when I went to my craft fairs this season, I sold these for $10. Again, it had the 2 pens, 2 pencils, 5 note cards, the notepad holder, and the post-it notes. So I think it's actually like a really good deal for what you get and the time you put into it. But like I said, I sold 5 of them, I think. And I do have maybe one more left. I think I have one left, or maybe I sold that one. No, I think I have one set left, I'm pretty sure. I think I ended up making 6 total. So I made this gold one. I think this gold one is the only one that I have left, which is funny because this one was my favorite. So I made this one. I made that chalkboard one that or the chalkboard, like the chalk paper that you saw. So I'm just putting it inside the front pocket there, and I'm lining up the sides, and I'm smooshing the bottom down. So you can see now that you have a nice separator. And I made one of these with the silver foil paper too, and I sold that one I sold the 3 ones that I made before, and then I sold the silver one I made and the one I showed you in the beginning of this video. So I've tried 2 different ways where I put those 2 pieces together and then put it down in the bottom, and I think I liked this way better, where you put the one in and then put the second one in, because I think I got it lined up a little bit better on the bottom, whereas before I don't think I lined them up right, so that one was higher than the other. It didn't look as good as when I put them in separately like that. So now I have the 2 different dividers for Okay guys, so that's the end of this part of the video. If you come back for the next one, I'll show you more on how I made this. Thanks for watching. Bye!